Today, we are diving into one of the most dynamic and honestly fastest growing economic forces on the entire planet. It's a huge story about shifting consumer power, massive national investments, and global trends all coming together in one powerful narrative.
All right, let's just kick things off with a number that is, well, it's just staggering. 5.4 trillion US dollars. Now that's the projected value of the Islamic economy for 2024, and all this data comes from the State of the Global Islamic Economy report from Salaam Gateway. To give you some perspective, that's a jump of over $80 billion in just 1 year. It's absolutely colossal.
But what really is this economy? I mean, what are the principles that are driving it, and what does its incredible growth mean for global business, for culture, and yeah, even for technology?
So let's get on the same page. What exactly is the Islamic economy? Well, at its heart, it's a whole collection of economic sectors that are all guided by Islamic ethics. And the anchor for all of this is the concept of halal, which really just means permissible. Now, a lot of people hear halal and they immediately think of food, right? Like avoiding pork or alcohol. But it's so much bigger than that. It stretches into finance, where things like charging interest are replaced by risk-sharing models. It shapes fashion, where modesty is a core value. Really, it's a whole framework for how to do business that's built on fairness, social responsibility, and ethical choices.
Okay, first up, let's talk about something huge that's happening right now, a fundamental change in how people are spending their money. We're seeing this powerful movement where authenticity and ethics are driving buying decisions like never before.
Now this slide, wow, it tells such a clear story. It's like a modern-day David versus Goliath. On one side, you've got these global giants, McDonald's, Starbucks, Coca-Cola, and they're all facing some serious sales headwinds in Muslim-majority countries. But then look at the other side, a massive surge for local brands. Jordan's Matrix Cola, sales jumped 200%. Egypt's V7 Cola, exports tripled. This isn't just some random blip in the market. It's a huge economic shift, and it really makes you ask, what's going on here?
And here's the why behind it all. This quote from the Salaam Gateway report just hits the nail on the head. Consumers are making a very conscious choice. This isn't just about what they're buying, it's about what they believe in and what they're supporting. The report calls this patriotic consumption or solidarity purchasing. It's all about empowering local businesses, showing some national pride, and literally putting their money where their values are.
And get this shift isn't just happening by word of mouth. It's being supercharged by technology. We're seeing the rise of what the report calls activist tech. Apps like No Thanks and Boycott are putting the power right into the consumer's hands. You can be standing in a supermarket aisle, scan a product, and make an informed, ethical choice right there on your phone. This isn't just a passing trend. This is a brand new tech-driven infrastructure for ethical shopping that's here to stay.
And you can see just how excited people are about this online. I mean, look at the sentiment for the tech and apps that make this possible, a massive 58% positive sentiment. That's a huge thumbs up from consumers. They're not just using these tools, they are cheering them on because they love the control and the agency these apps give them over their own spending.
All right, so now that we've seen the consumer side, let's break this massive economy down. Where is the money really? What are the key sectors that are fueling this $5.4 trillion engine?
First up, modest fashion. And this is a monster of a market. In 2023 alone, Muslim consumer spending on clothes and shoes hit an incredible $227 billion US dollars. And we're not just talking about traditional garments here. This is a buzzing global industry that blends faith-inspired modesty with modern style, sustainability, and ethical production. It's huge.
Next, let's talk travel. Because the Muslim-friendly travel sector, it is absolutely booming. And again, this is way more than just religious pilgrimages. We're talking about a $217 billion global tourism market that caters to the specific needs of Muslim travelers. Everything from hotels that serve halal food to airports that have dedicated prayer rooms. It's a massive and fast-growing slice of the entire travel industry.
Now this is where things get really, really interesting. This chart shows a kind of economic paradox when you look at the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. That's a bloc of 57 countries. You see two completely different stories. On the one hand, they have a nearly $100 billion trade deficit in halal food. That means they're net importers. They rely a lot on other countries for their food. But, on the other hand, they're running a massive $71 billion trade surplus in fashion, and that's driven by manufacturing powerhouses like Bangladesh.
Okay, so we've looked at the sectors. Now let's zoom in on the map. This growth isn't spread out evenly. Certain countries are becoming the real powerhouses, the strategic hubs for investment and development.
And you really have to start with the king of the hill. For an incredible 11 years running, one country has consistently led the pack, Malaysia. It continues to hold that top spot in the overall Global Islamic Economy Indicator, which is a real testament to its deep and well-developed halal ecosystem.
But being the overall leader doesn't tell the whole story. If you look closer at the investment activity, you start to see these amazing specializations popping up. Look at the UAE. It's leading in the sheer number of deals being made. But then shift your eyes to Saudi Arabia. Whoa, it completely dominates in the value of those deals, with almost $750 million being poured into Islamic finance. And then you've got Indonesia, which is a magnet for capital in modest fashion and halal food. It's clear that different countries are carving out their own unique leadership roles.
And you know, none of this is happening by chance. This growth is being fueled by really smart, deliberate, top-down national strategies. Indonesia has made it clear it wants to be the world's modest fashion hub. Saudi Arabia is pouring billions into food self-sufficiency and tourism, and the UAE is methodically building a world-class food tech ecosystem. These aren't just ideas. They are focused, long-term economic blueprints for the future.
So we've seen where we are, but where is all this heading? Let's look at the huge global trends that are going to shape the future of this economy. Because, it doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's plugged right into the biggest changes happening in our world today.
The report points to 3 global megatrends we all need to be watching. First up, AI and automation. Just imagine using AI to guarantee the integrity of a halal supply chain all the way from the farm to your dinner table. Second, deglobalization. We're seeing new economic alliances like BRICS, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and that's shifting trade flows often in ways that benefit these OIC nations. And third, the climate crisis. This is pushing sustainability and ethical production to the top of the global agenda, principles that, honestly, are already baked into the DNA of the Islamic economy.
So, when you pull it all together, what's the big picture? What should you remember? Well, we are talking about a massive, dynamic, global economic force. It's being supercharged by a new wave of conscious consumers. It's powered by strategic regional hubs, and its future is going to be defined by the biggest forces of our time.
And that leaves us with one final really important thought to chew on. This is so much more than just a niche market. As this value-driven, multi-trillion-dollar economy keeps expanding, its impact on the global brands we all use, the supply chains they depend on, and even our own shopping habits is going to be profound. The real question for businesses everywhere isn't if this economy will reshape the global marketplace, but how, and how soon.